Well, time now for the markets with Leighton, and an expected record crop, you say, continues to weigh on soybean prices?
That's right. However, prices for another row crop have had an even rougher week than the grains and oilseeds. And let's look in our headlines this week. December cotton is what we're talking about. It falls to a 5-year low. Processing, meanwhile, is down. Prices are up for U.S. farm-raised catfish. And some historic lows in the latest cattle on feed report. Brian Williams will be along with some analysis coming up. Traders are expecting more pressure on soybean prices at least until after harvest. Analyst Ted Seifried gives us a near-term snapshot of how this market is shaping up as we leave the month of September and enter October.
The idea that the bean crop is getting bigger, there are more beans there, very big ending stock number. We're going to have to chew through it on harvest just like what we're going to have to do with corn. And we're sort of moving to the levels that a lot of us have been thinking we should be getting to a few weeks ago. So soybeans to some extent might be playing a little bit more catch up, which is why you're seeing wheat and beans, but specifically beans as heavy as they are now compared to the relative strength in corn. And really until we get through the bean harvest and absorb this cash glut, there's probably going to be more pressure coming here in the near term.
China's announcement this week that it's clamping down on cotton imports from the U.S. and elsewhere was the first of 2 hammers that struck this market as we close out September. The second hammer, Wednesday's news from India that their cotton association now expects their cotton crop to be 1 million bales higher than previously forecast. By Wednesday night, December futures had fallen to their lowest point in 5 years. Doan's commentary is warning that cotton futures may dip under the $60 mark before reaching their harvest lows. Four-wheel drive tractors aren't selling so well this year. For example, in the month of August, fewer than 350 were sold nationwide. That's a drop of 37% compared to only 1 year ago. Year to date, the Association of Equipment Manufacturers says four-wheel drive tractor sales are off 14%. For trivia this week, we're talking about sweet potatoes. Here's the quiz question. What 2 states have the sweet potato as their official vegetable? Which 2 of these are the answer? A, Mississippi, B, North Carolina, C, California, and D, Louisiana. I'll tell you at the end of the markets. Aquaculture is our next stop in the markets this week. The government's August snapshot of this industry is now out. Last month, producers in the United States received a pond bank price of $1.21 per pound for premium-sized live fish. That is 18 cents per pound more than was paid 1 year ago. Farm sales totaled just a hair over 24 million pounds round weight, a drop of 8% from August 2013. Meanwhile, processor sales also dropped last month. They were down 10% from a year ago and totaled just over 11.5 million pounds. Some low numbers, especially placements and marketings, got cattle traders' attention in the new on-feed figures from the government. This week, Extension Ag economist Brian Williams discussed the report with me. What was the placements figure in that September 19th report?
Well, we had placements come in down about 3% from a year ago at 1.72 million head. That was a little bit higher than what we were expecting. We're expecting it to be down about 4%.
But many commentaries are saying this was an historic low, this figure in placements?
It was. It was the lowest number since the report began coming out back in 1996.
Now, I understand there's several factors that were at play that created this situation because it was so low.
Yeah, there's several things playing into it. Probably the biggest thing has to do with just the tight supplies in general, but there's other things such as producers retaining more heifers. There's the low feed prices that are kind of making it more appealing for backgrounders and are just keeping some of those cattle out of the feedlots.
And as far as the cattle that are actually being placed, are they heavier or lighter than what we've seen in recent months?
We're seeing a little bit of both. In terms of sheer numbers, the largest group is the heavyweights. They've got 635,000 heavyweights being placed, but both the heavyweights and the lightweights were up compared to a year ago, and then the middleweights were down compared to a year ago.
And what about the marketings figure in this report?
Well, our marketings came in down 10% from a year ago, at 1.692 million head. That's a little bit higher than expectations. They were expected to be down about 9%.
But that, again, that was kind of a historic low, again, lower than expected.
As with placements, it was the lowest number since they started keeping track.
And total number of on feed as of the 1st of September?
Our total on feed was down 1% from a year ago at 9.799 million head, and that was real close to what we were expecting.
Monday's cold storage report was considered bearish for some of the U.S. dairy markets. Eric Meyer with High Ground Dairy says cheese and butter stocks did not draw down as much as expected. Also, Meyer says strong U.S. milk production is starting to tip the supply-demand scale in favor of lower prices ahead. Before the feature story, let's check out the trivia answer for this week, and the correct choices are B and D. The states of North Carolina and Louisiana have the sweet potato as their official vegetable.